ago, I remember my father used to ring up when he was finishing his day's work, and he'd walk up the hill from what is now Bishop's house, where the school was, to Martin's house, and I'd go down to meet him on a zigzag path which went down that quite steep hill there. Right, well, the Stewart family has been very involved with St Paul's College for a very long time. Firstly, my grandfather, who wasn't a Stewart, Bishop Lander, was headmaster for a short time, at the same time as he was Bishop of Hong Kong. He then handed over to my uncle, Arthur, who was headmaster for some years, up till 1930, I think. And then he handed over to my father, who was headmaster from about 1930 to the war, and then for some years after the war until he died in '56. When the war came, my mother and I were evacuated to Australia, but my father stayed, both because of keeping the school running as long as possible and because he was a major in the Hong Kong Volunteer Defence Corps, and he was very involved in the fighting for Hong Kong, and was particularly distinguished at Wong Nai Stong Gap, where his company of only about 100 soldiers held up a Japanese regiment of over 800 soldiers, and he was given a distinguished cross for that work. That's the DSO he got for the Wong Nai Chong Gap. That's the OBE, because after the war he organised the Home Guard part of the Hong Kong Defence Force, and these various medals are all since then. Everybody's rather impressed that he had have so many medals for a man who wasn't a regular soldier. His life's work was a teacher running a school, not a soldier. But I think all the Stewarts, the point made in that book, felt a compulsion to go back and do something helpful to China.
So I hope that the school continues to flourish. It's very exciting. It's done 170 years, and I hope that it bodes well for the future and it keeps going from strength to strength.
I don't know that I'm competent to give a blessing, but I can certainly give my very best wishes for the school's future and hope it has a long and successful future.